for the 90th time. And I'm not saying, I'm just saying, the winner has represented the West in the Big Ten championship game the last 2 years. Iowa last year, Wisconsin 2 years ago. Hang on, are we waiting all that time?
Yep.
Well, what do you want to do? You want to do importance, or do your first sentence want to be, Wisconsin off that loss last week?
Yeah, I mean, normally when this comes in, man, the freaking ball's on the tee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if there's time,
so which one though? You want to go something off the standings, the importance of this game, or Wisconsin off of last week?
Well, Wisconsin off last week, I think is.
For Hawkeye great Niall Kinnick and this excerpt from his 1939 Heisman Award acceptance speech.
I thank God I was warring on the gridirons of the Midwest and not on the battlefields of Europe. I can speak confidently and positively that the players of this country would much rather struggle and fight to win the Heisman Award than a croix de guerre. Thank you.
And nationwide, we stand for you and invite you to remain standing. Please remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem. It will be conducted by Director of Bands, Dr. Mark Heidel. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Captains for today, for Wisconsin, Daria Big-Malaway, Vince Beagle, Alex James, and Connor Ugelhoven. And for the Hawkeyes, Justin King, C.J. Becker, and Sean Daniels, and Jesse Jewell.
Wisconsin for the visiting team, the head and the tail. What is the call? Heads is the call. It is the head and the call. Wisconsin won the toss with the further choice in the second half. Iowa will receive the football. The defending by 4.
Doesn't get any better than that, Reese. And a very pleasant, good late morning, everyone, from Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City. Welcome to ESPN College Football. You're watching the Big Ten on ESPN. It's the 90th meeting all time. between 10th-ranked Wisconsin and the Hawkeyes of Iowa. And I'm not saying, I'm just saying the winner of this game has represented the West in the Big Ten title game the last 2 years. Iowa last year, Wisconsin 2 years ago. Brian Greasy and Todd McShay are with me. And Grease, the big question coming into this one, how does Wisconsin bounce back from the overtime loss at home last Saturday night to Ohio State?
Yeah, 60-plus minutes of emotional football in Camp Randall, and they come out on the losing end of it, back-to-back weeks, obviously against Michigan and Ohio State. It's tough to come back from that, but Paul Chryst has been confident in this team. He says, you know, sometimes these players get over these losses a lot easier than the coaches do. We'll see how they respond early.
And, of course, Iowa comes off a blowout win over Purdue, 49-35, and it wasn't that close. Although Kirk Ferentz did have to bring his starters back in to make sure the outcome was never in doubt. P.J. Rosowski will kick it away, and it'll go out of the end zone. And we'll see the Iowa offense, but let's show you the Wisconsin defense. They might be the stars of this show.
There's no question they've been the stars of the season for Wisconsin. They were #1 in scoring defense a year ago under Dave Aranda. Everybody had questions coming into 2016. Could they do as much? They've done better. They have controlled games. They shut out teams on offense, and today will be no different. C.J. Beathard, the quarterback for Iowa, will have his hands full.
And there's Vince Spiegel. As everyone said, the audio was turned up in practice this week. The star of that Wisconsin defense does return. LaShawn Daniels is the ball carrier, and T.J. Watt makes the first tackle of the game. C.J. Beathard is the starting quarterback. As Kirk Ferentz told us, Beathard is made of the stuff you can't teach.
Yeah, and you know what? He's got poise. He's tough. Last year he played through a sports hernia injury, but he's got to know where the weaknesses are. He's got some tackles up front on the outside starting today. They've been banged up. He's got some weaknesses he needs to be aware of.
2nd and 9. Here's Daniels through the hole. Watt makes another stop. We'll see a couple of backs, LaShawn Daniels and Akram Wadley, in there for Iowa.
There's no question the strength of the Wisconsin team are their linebackers, especially their outside linebackers, T.J. Watt and Vince Spiegel. And as I mentioned, this Iowa offensive line, Boone Myers out for this game, so Cole Croston will start at right tackle, and Ike Butker will start at left tackle, both new positions for those guys. Tall assignment.
3rd and 6 for Beathard out of the gun. Wadley is the single setback. Beathard with a good pocket to operate in. Pass is incomplete. Was looking for Riley McCarron and could not complete.
And that's been a problem all season so far for Beathard in this offense. Dropped balls and opportunities for these receivers to go up and make catches on 50-50 balls, and they're failing to do so at an appropriate rate, if you will. So it's something to monitor throughout this game. Beathard, a lot of people think not having the year that he should be having, but a lot of it has to do with injuries at wide receiver and just a lack of playmakers.
So it's a 3 and out for Iowa to start. Ron Caluzzi will punt it away. Corey Clement will call for the fair catch. And therefore, Alex Hornibrook and Wisconsin will start with pretty good field position. Again, we'll see how Hornibrook and company bounce back. The redshirt freshman making his 4th career start. How about his first 3 starts? At Michigan State, at Michigan, home against Ohio State. Welcome to the show, kid.
Yeah, and he needs to take what the defense gives him today. Put last week behind him. Look towards this game. He's got to get this offense back on track. I thought he made some great throws in that Ohio State game. Obviously, that last throw in overtime where he took the sack on 4th down is going to stick with him. He's got to put that behind him, come out and execute this offense.
On 1st down and 10, out at the 34-yard line. And Hornibrook to throw on 1st down. And able to complete out to Jazz Peavy, and he's very close to a 1st down. Gain of 9, 2nd and 1 coming up.
Yeah, Jazz Peavy, one of the definite impact players for Wisconsin offensively, along with Troy Fumagalli, excellent tight end, made a bunch of plays last week. And this defense for Iowa, they're getting better every week. Josie Jules, the unquestioned leader at the linebacker spot, and we know that the Thorpe Award winner from last year, 2015, Des King, probably be locked up most of the day on Jazz Peavy.
2nd and 1. This would be my favorite play call as an offensive coordinator. Lots you can do on 2nd and 1, and well, I guess that's one of the calls you could go with.
That looks like something you would call right there.
Come on, a little more exciting. Play action, take a shot downfield. Does the job, though. Gets the first down.
Hornibrook's gotten better each week, Steve. He didn't start the year, obviously. We need to refresh. Bart Houston started the LSU game and won that game for Wisconsin. Hornibrook has come on now in the last couple of, not only a redshirt freshman, but having to go through the schedule that Wisconsin has played, right? The 4 top 10 teams that they've played, and he has consistently gotten better week in and week out.
5 to snap it. They get it away, and it is the sweep to A.J. Taylor down the sideline. This was so effective a week ago. The jet sweep going to Jazz Peavy. This time it's A.J. Taylor, the true freshman.
Yeah, we saw many times Peavy getting this jet sweep. They like both freshmen, A.J. Taylor and Quintez Cephas. They want to, we were talking with Paul Chris, wants to get some of these younger wide receivers involved. He knows that he needs more depth behind Peavy at the wide receiver position. And Taylor and Cephas are the top 2 candidates.
Gain of 23. Here's Corey Clement now. At a little wildcat for Wisconsin. So some early wrinkles. And Clement's going to carry the football. Left side. Oh, takes a big hit as he was slammed out of bounds. Hit by Brandon Snyder, the free safety. And these safeties do hit for Iowa.
I watched the tape of Brandon Snyder. He's a former quarterback in high school. He is one of these safeties that just comes up and hits you. I mean, you've seen this time and time again. He's forced 4 fumbles from that safety position already this year.
When you see a big hit like that, you always wonder about targeting the crown of the helmet. Hornibrook is back under center on 2nd and 7. Handoff to Clement, straight up the middle. This time it's Miles Taylor, the other safety, coming up to make the stop. This running game for Wisconsin, man, I mean, they did a number against that Buckeyes defense.
Yeah, certainly, and I don't think that Ohio State defensively was ready for it. It was a great game plan from Paul Chris. Mixed up his formations, motions. They threw the ball on 1st down, ran it on 2nd down. It was really impressive what they were able to accomplish.
3rd and 2. Wisconsin likes Dare Ogunbowale in this spot. He's in there right now. And they get it to Ogunbowale, and he does have the 1st down, just enough.
Look at you doing your homework on Ogunbowale and 3rd down and short.
We've seen Wisconsin a lot this year. We're the voice of the Badgers.
This is the same play they ran in the Ohio State game. He missed Ogunbowale for a big 3rd down conversion. This time, Hornibrook with an accurate throw.
And this will be interesting to watch, too. With Wisconsin struggles last week in the red zone. They're getting close to getting into the red zone. They need to convert with touchdowns, not field goals. I thought that was the big difference last week.
Clement is split out, and now they hand it off to him, coming back around. Here's Corey Clement. He's inside the 20-yard line now.
Paul Chris is well known as one of the best play callers in college football. I think you're seeing it. You saw it last week. They came out. They had Ohio State on their heels. Every week he comes up with some package, a personnel grouping, a formation, a motion. We've seen Clement in motion, not Peavy on the jet sweep. We've seen Taylor on it. We've seen Wildcat here in the first drive. You're going to get something that you haven't prepared for when you play against a Paul Chris offense.
Because Iowa has to prepare against Peavy on the jet sweep because he was the one who abused Ohio State in the first half. And we go on 2nd and 7 now. Clement trying to pick his hole. Desmond King came up to make the stop. You mentioned the Thorpe Award winner. That goes to the single most outstanding defensive back in the country. What an honor that was. King, by the way, they're wondering when's he going to score a touchdown this season. He had a 41-yard interception return for a score against Purdue a week ago. 3rd and 2, 9th play of this drive. Ogunbowale checks back in.
It's interesting, 3rd and 2 here. You come out in a spread set in the shotgun.
Hornibrook to throw. Not even close. There is a flag down. Jazz Peavy was in the neighborhood. Brandon Snyder had the coverage.
Flags on the opposite side of the field, David.
Illegal formation. Offense. More than 4 men in the backfield. Penalties decline. 4th down.
It's a big stop there for Iowa. Defensively, you come out, you take the initial wave of new looks from Paul Chryst. They go right down the field, but you're able to come up with a 3rd down stop here and force a field goal attempt. Now you get on the sideline with Phil Parker, defensive coordinator, and adjust to what you've seen.
This will be from 32 for Andrew Endicott. No Rafael Gaglianone, the star kicker for Wisconsin, had back surgery. He's done for the season. So it falls on Andrew Endicott out of the Connor Allen hold. No good. To the right. Inexperienced plays kicker. That's the first miss from Endicott. We can remain scoreless. Scoreless early on here at Iowa City, and think about Wisconsin. They're 1-2 in the conference and still ranked 10th in the country. That speaks to the Badgers and how top-heavy and how terrific the Big Ten is this year.
Certainly is, and this is basically a de facto elimination game in the Big Ten race. Even at 1-2, I think Wisconsin needs this. They play Nebraska next week. Obviously, they would have to win out and need Nebraska to lose another game, but Nebraska plays Ohio State as well, so certainly Wisconsin's not out of the Big Ten race and not out of the national championship race for that matter at 2 losses.
And Iowa feels the same way. If they win out, they feel they'll be in the consideration. Let's get an update. Here's Adnan Burke. All right, Adnan, thank you. Keep us posted there. After the 1-yard gain by Akram Wadley, 2nd and 9. Keep in mind, Iowa went 3 and out. This is their 2nd possession of the game. And Beathard is throwing for Riley McCarron. And he's got it, 1st down yardage. Gain of 10.
You got to give C.J. Beathard time to throw the football, and if you do, he can hurt you. He's an accurate thrower, throws the ball on time, he's smart, poised. McCarron has become his #1 target now that Matt Vanderberg has been out for the season with a foot injury. He needs McCarron to make plays just like that.
Beathard is 18-4 as a starter, 9-2 here at Kinnick Stadium. On the ground to Wadley.
And I said earlier, there's been a lot of things going on with the wide receivers leaving the program before the season. Lost Matt Vanderberg with the foot injuries, out indefinitely. He was the team's leading receiver just a few weeks ago. And he continues to show mental and physical toughness. Really respect that about him. Everything that he's been through this year, never shows any frustration.
Yeah, Greg Davis told us that Beathard is as tough as boot leather. That's tough. 2nd and 5. Here's Wadley, who loves to spin. Jack Sitchie comes up to make his first stop. Sitchie made 15 tackles. He said 15 tackles a week ago, 11 of them solo.
Yeah, he was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week, but he's got a tougher job today. And Todd, this Wisconsin defense will be without their nose guard, Olive Songapolu, who was an excellent player at keeping this offensive lineman off of the linebacker Sitchie.
T.J. Watt's out of the lineup, checked out there. C.J. Beathard run right up the middle for the first down yardage.
And that's a good point, because that's the centerpiece of this Wisconsin defense. You have to have a nose tackle that can eat up 2 blockers, and that really creates a lot of opportunities for linebackers to come in and make plays. And I would argue this is the best linebacking core in the entire country. The Florida Gators, maybe you could stack up there.
Yep.
But with Beagle back, and then with Garrett Dooley showing what he showed while Beagle was gone, this group is deep and loaded with talent.
They figure to be tested today as Iowa will look to run the football on 1st down and 10. Off the play fake, Beathard to throw. And incomplete over the head of George Kittle, the tight end.
I think one last point, they are deep and they're strong at linebacker. They are not as deep on the defensive line. So the loss of Songapolu is big. They will play Alec James, who I think is one of the most underrated players on this Wisconsin defense, number 57, an outstanding player. They're going to move Connor Sheehy from tackle to nose, which is a very different position. We'll see how he holds up. And then the last guy that needs to play today is a true freshman, Garrett Rand, at nose guard.
Watt is back in the game on that Wisconsin defense on 2nd and 10. Throwing to Wadley out of the backfield for the short game. Bring up a 3rd and long. Sitchie on the stop.
Wadley's a player that just jumps out on tape. I think he's probably the most dynamic athlete that Iowa has on the offensive side. Just watching his ability to create in space and also in small spaces, it's not a surprise that they're working him a little bit more as a running back, but also moving him around as a slot receiver. Just find a way to get the ball in Wadley's hands, and he can make some big plays.
7.4 yards per carry for Wadley. That is the best in the conference. Here's 3rd and 7 now. Approaching midfield. Beathard throw to his left. Able to complete. Jay Shield able to break the tackle, and because of that, gets the first down. Shield, a sophomore from Mount Auburn, Iowa.
And Wisconsin got exactly what they wanted, and it's the corner, Figaro, that's just got to make the tackle. You come up, make that tackle, and force a punt. Great effort by Shield to get some big first down.
Those are the plays that you need from your receivers. Instead of the drops and some of the other missed opportunities to break a tackle, although this it looks like a bad spot from where I'm standing.
Wow.
At the 49. And the punt for the Hawkeyes.
His right foot looked like it went out of bounds. The ball was in his left hand, but wow.
Officially they give him 6, and officially Iowa is punting. Corey Clement, the fair catch at about the 8-yard line. Take another look at that spot when we come back.
ESPN College Football. ESPN College Football, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. We didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. And Cadillac.
Ron Caluzzi had a 41-yard punt. Should he have been in punt formation there?
I don't know. It didn't look like Shield went out of bounds. It's just a question of where that football was. He had to get to about the 40. We'll take a look at it after this play.
We'll take another look at that. Wisconsin is backed up now. They'll start at their own 9-yard line. Austin Ramish, the fullback. Hey, what's a fullback? Fullback in front of Corey Clement. Send the man in motion and hand it off to Clement. Good second effort there. Finally, Ben Neiman brought him down, but Donald Clement had himself a good game.
Go back and take a look at that last third down play by Shield. Take a look at his right foot. His right foot not out of bounds there, but the ball has not gotten across the first down. That's tough to tell. I'm not going to second guess the official on that one because he had a much better look than we do, but certainly we'd love Shield to dive forward, get that first down.
2nd and 5 pitch to Clement. Cuts it back inside, first down yardage, and then some. Brandon Snyder came up to make the stop, gain of 8 on the play. Todd.
Clement just looks different than he did a few weeks ago when we saw him. He had that injury, he just wasn't himself, but you see now the explosiveness and the ability to break more tackles. That was what was missing in his game, and we saw it against Ohio State last week. He really looks like the old Clement, the guy who we thought was going to be the next great Wisconsin back.
Well, he's healthy, right, Todd? I mean,
exactly.
that's the thing is he's healthy, and they're going to use him in different situations. Now you see him lined up out as a wide receiver. Expect a jet sweep or fake.
That's Clement in motion. Hornibrook straight drop the throw. Has a man, and it is dropped. Troy Fumagalli had him over the shoulder. Fumagalli couldn't hang on. Here's Adnan. All right, Adnan, you're on ESPN. A drop that the Badgers can't afford to make.
Great throw there.
Right?
Wow. Great design, too. Again, talk about Paul Chris, but you put your best player, Corey Clement, in motion. You get the defense looking at the jet sweep, and you drop a nice pass into Fumagalli. He just lost sight of it.
Paul Chris, one of just a handful of Power 5 head coaches, who also calls the offensive plays. Hornibrook throwing again. Eric Steffes, the tight end on the far side, makes the grab.
Wow, he got lucky there, Hornibrook. That's a late throw in the flat. Maben was in good position, but look at the placement of that ball. Maben didn't look like he got a good jump on it. Nice job by Steffes to control that ball and get a foot down in bounds, but Hornibrook got away with one there.
3rd down and 4 coming up.
Fumagalli and Ogunbowale. Say that real fast.
Why would you do that to me?
Those
right
two guys.
3rd and 4.
Those are the keys on 3rd down.
Of course they are. Dare and Troy. Here's Hornibrook. Pressure in his face. Got it away. It's Ogunbowale. First down and much more. Josie Jewell eventually wrestles him down, but they're across midfield.
One of my favorite routes. You put your 2 playmakers and you run what we used to call a Texas route, which is basically an out and then back in. Fumagalli's going to clear it out, and Ogunbowale, man, I did just say it right there. Gunnar runs a great route on a linebacker. That's a mismatch. Josie Jewell is not going to be able to guard Ogunbowale in man-to-man coverage on 3rd downs in this game.
Gain of 26 on the play. Clement and Ramish out of the eye. Quick screen out to the wide receiver and too high for Jazz Peavy over his head. Desmond King had the coverage.
Wisconsin has really jumped on teams. You see the first quarter comparison, 32 points to 6, and the time of possession almost 3-1. problem is that when they've gotten down inside the red zone, putting that ball in the end zone. We talked about it against the Ohio State last week, kicking the field goals. They've already had it happen on their first drive. They need to sustain drives and get touchdowns, not field goals.
2nd down and 10. Just across midfield. Here's Hornibrook. Looking to his right and throwing that way to Ogunbowale. Stays in bounds as the first down. Miles Taylor on the stop. Gain of 12.
We talk a lot about Corey Clement and a big offensive line and running the football, but this Wisconsin offense is growing. They are maturing and they are morphing into a balanced offense. They're throwing the football on first down. Paul Chryst trusts Hornibrook to execute in the passing game.
Oh, and Hornibrook's doing such a good job under pressure. He has really since his first start against Michigan State. That was just another example, taking a big hit, popping right up.
Down to 2 minutes to play here in a scoreless first quarter. Hornibrook feels the pressure, gets away from it, lofts it down the middle of the field. Too much for Jazz Peavy. Anthony Nelson had the pressure.
Anthony Nelson, the defensive end, redshirt freshman. He comes off the edge, going up against probably the weakest of this offensive line is the right tackle Maxwell. He struggled last week against Ohio State in that fierce pass rush, but again, Hornibrook slippery, gets rid of the football.
Marty just handed me this note. Wisconsin 6 straight passing plays. That can't be right, can it? Badgers?
Marty's never wrong.
6 straight passing plays? Check Elias, see if that's the first time in history. Here's Clement on the pitch to the left side. He is rocked down to the 35.
I think it's a sign of the confidence in the quarterback that Paul Chryst has in his young quarterback, and he's on. He threw a great ball to Fumagalli, dropped it. Comes back with a big 3rd down to Ogunbowale and hits it. And I think he's going to continue to give his quarterback more pass plays as long as he shows he can execute. No doubt there'll be one here.
3rd down and 10. 10th play of the drive. Again, Wisconsin had a long drive the previous time and couldn't make the field goal. They're rushing just 4. Hornibrook steps up there. He was pounded, and there's a flag. Josie Jewell got him. Might have gotten him too good.
Boy, Hornibrook was in a vulnerable position, and it certainly looked like a nasty hit.
Targeting defense, number 43. That previous play is under further review.
Keep in mind that Josie Jewell was disqualified 6 plays into the opening game, opener of the season, for targeting. And we'll look at this one. More than one time.
These officials are taught to, when in doubt, throw the flag. So they're going to throw the flag. There's no question about that. But, you know, when it's a quarterback and they're throwing the ball and they're in that vulnerable position, they're going to get the benefit of the doubt. But I'm not so sure that Josie Jewell is targeting right here. Let's take a look. He comes in and looks like his helmet is in the chest, which is a fair, I mean, obviously that's not a late hit. Okay, so let's take that out of the equation. He does not use the crown of his helmet. His face mask is on his chest. That's another tenet of targeting. And he doesn't, in my opinion, that's a clean hit.
I'm with you. I did not see crown of the helmet there at the contact point.
Again, it's important to see that he hits with his face mask and not the crown. He hits him in the chest.
There's Kirk Ferentz, his reaction, looking at the replays. Eyes are up.
Eyes are up, yeah.
After further review, it was determined that the contact was to the shoulder area. The targeting call is reversed. Number 43 remains in the ball game. Result of the play was an incomplete pass. 4th down.
Jeff Servinski, our referee, and we are in agreement with that call.
Great job by Jeff and that crew, Big Ten crew. That's what this was. This is how it was designed to play out. When in doubt, throw the flag on the field, and then rather than taking Josie Jewell out of the game this year, the new ability to replay and overturn that, I think it was done well.
So there might have been some harm, but there is no foul. Bart Houston, the now backup quarterback for Wisconsin, was out there on the field taking snaps. We'll check on Hornibrook as well the next time Wisconsin gets the football. But Anthony Lottie is back to punt. He's at the Iowa 49. Desmond King is back deep at the 8. Lottie will get it in the air. End over end. King will let it bounce. And it bounces down at the 2. And it'll be down to about the 6-yard line.
A sandwich there.
So we've had a lot of action. There's no points to show for it. Into the final minute of the first quarter. This college football season, stream every game live on the ESPN app and on Watch ESPN. Download the app or visit watchespn.com today. Well, it's been all Wisconsin except where it counts on the scoreboard. Wisconsin 2 long drives, driving to the Iowa 14 and the 35 with nothing to show for it. And so Iowa will take over in the shadows of their own goalpost. Final minute, quarter number 1. C.J. Beathard will hand it off to LaShawn Daniels straight ahead. Jack Sitchie to stop. Adnan Burke the update.
By Jack Sitchie. Second and 4 at the 13.
See how late Adnan and the boys were up last night? That game took forever. Oregon and Cal, double overtime.
Yeah.
Hand off to Daniels again. Sitchie again on the stop.
They get to the over in that game? What was it, 89?
Yeah, somebody says the largest over in college football history, and they did go over thanks to double overtime. Hey, we're down to the final 5 seconds of Iowa and Wisconsin. We haven't even mentioned what this game is all about. It's all about the Heartland Trophy. Does anybody know what that really means? We had a hard time finding some answers on that this week. We're scoreless after 1. this is a series that began way back in 1894. Wisconsin won that game 44-0. But this is the 90th meeting. 90 meetings, and Wisconsin has one more win than Iowa does. And it's all about the Heartland Trophy. It's a bull mounted on a walnut base, native to both Wisconsin and Iowa. It's got the scores, and they've been playing for 100 years. No, it's not 100 years for the Heartland Trophy, actually. It's just the last 10 or so. Yeah. 5 and 5,
yep.
even
5
there.
5, yep.
So this is the 11th. Pass is knocked away on 3rd and short. Riley McCarron, a little too low for him.
And I'm glad they reorganized the Big Ten Conference into East and West. When it was Legends and Leaders, these two teams weren't going to play each other. So there was 2 years, 11 and 12, where they didn't play. And one of the biggest advocates for getting this game back on the schedule was Barry Alvarez. So we need to play this game.
So Barry in the hallway in the press box.
You have the red jacket on?
Yeah, of course he did. Or maybe a sweater, red sweater maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Part of the College Football Playoff Committee, of course. Corey Clement is back at the 41, and he'll fair catch it. And that's where Wisconsin will start. All right, we'll step aside again early on.
Only
second quarter.
Party going. You know that, man.
Yeah. Well, that guy's really tall, too.
Tied up at zeros back in Iowa City. We have a quarterback change for the Wisconsin Badgers. A senior, Bart Houston, is going to come out and take this series. This has been planned for Paul Chryst all week long. This doesn't have anything to do with an injury. Alex Hornibrook is just fine, but Paul Chryst wanted to get his senior in the game and give Alex Hornibrook a chance to look for a series from the sideline.
And Houston will benefit from Wisconsin's best starting position today, their own 42-yard line. Going to come out firing and completing to Jazz Peavy down the sideline. First down. You like throwing an extra package in there for the backup quarterback?
Not a huge fan. Not a huge fan, especially with a redshirt freshman in Alex Hornibrook, who's really played well. I mean, hasn't been perfect, but he is the clear future of the Wisconsin Badgers. And I understand Paul Chryst is a great coach, and I understand, trying to get, your quarterback to the sideline, let him calm down a little bit and watch the game. But I think it does take some rhythm away from Alex Hornibrook.
Clement is split out to the right. Now they send him in motion. Don't even fake it to him. Give to Ogunbowale. And trying to push the pile to the 40-yard line. Back to Adnan. Adnan, thank you. We wondered about NC State. How would they come back? What would their hangover be like this week?
Yep.
Similar to Wisconsin's position. Badgers are scoreless here on 2nd down and 4. They shift Ramish to the left and hand it off to Clement going in that direction. Just shy of the 1st down marker. Bring up a 3rd and 1, let's say. Bart Houston started the first 3 games of the season. We met with him prior to the game at Lambeau Field. Dad's favorite player growing up, Bart Starr. Senior quarterback, first career college start at Lambeau Field. And they win the game. That was simply amazing. 3rd down and 1. Let's see if they let Houston throw it here. Ramish, the fullback, to the right. Clement, ball carrier. Very close. Strong, stout defense there by Iowa. Faith Ikakatiki leading the way.
Yeah, Ben Neiman, the linebacker, came up and stoned Ramish, the fullback. This is one of those games where you're going to want to keep your eyes on the fullbacks and linebackers. Ramish on Jewell and Neiman. And I think that's going to be close, but great play by Neiman. Like they had to get to the 36-yard line.
Ooh, wow. Great look from the sky cam, too.
Yeah. Take a look at Ramish here and Neiman here. Great collisions all game long. Your eyes on those linebackers and fullbacks, and Neiman definitely won that one. Just not able to keep Corey Clement from the 6 inches he needed to get the 1st down.
Ben Neiman made 11 tackles in the 3rd game of the season. He's 4th in tackles for the team all season with 42 coming in. So they get the 1st down, fresh set. Houston throwing to Clement out of the backfield. And he's out to the 27-yard line again as Neiman on the stop.
These nakeds are a big part of the Paul Chryst offense. When you run the ball as successful as Wisconsin does last week and so far in this game, the naked becomes a stinger. It's difficult.
I'm dying to ask you to explain to the people what naked is.
The naked bootleg.
Oh, I see.
What did you think it was?
Well, I didn't know which direction you're going. Haven't been around you that long.
Naked means the quarterback's coming around and there's nobody blocking the edge, so he's naked out there.
I got you. He's all by himself. 2nd and 1. Handoff, Clement. Administering some punishment himself, not looking to avoid it. Desmond King stopped Todd.
And Clement, again, running hard. And you see this is a physical Iowa team, and this is going to be a 4-quarter challenge for Wisconsin running the football. They had a great game last week running the football. First time, really, I thought all season long that they were dominant in the run game. But today, it's a little bit of a different animal. This Iowa defense is starting to play better versus the run.
It's 3rd time, Todd, that they've been down here in this position, right? So this red zone needs to be better for Wisconsin. They miss a field goal, they get pushed back and have to punt. See what they do here on 1st down.
9 1st downs for Wisconsin to Iowa's just 2. Clement's been the workhorse. Give it to him again. Not much doing there.
No, and I think what you see from Iowa defensively and Phil Parker, their defensive coordinator, he knows that his corner, Des King, is better than any receiver that Wisconsin has. So he's going to lock him down and he's going to put 7 or 8 guys in the box to stop Corey Clement. Parker's been around a long time, been a part of a lot of these rivalry games against Wisconsin, and knows exactly what Paul Chryst wants to try to accomplish.
Desmond King had 2 interceptions against Wisconsin last year. That was a 10-6 thriller at Madison. Turnover plagued for Wisconsin. That cost them the game. 2nd down and 8. Houston throwing. Got a man. It's Fumagalli. Did he get there? Touchdown, he did. The officials have signaled touchdown, Wisconsin.
What a creative play from Paul Chryst. I haven't seen this play all year from Wisconsin. Fumagalli gets the ball, reaching for the end zone. Knees are not down. The ball crosses the end zone. What great effort from Fumagalli.
Hand is okay.
Hand is all right.
Knee is not. Knee didn't look like it touched.
Under further review.
They're going to take a look at it. So Bart Houston comes in and leads as of now as a 58-yard, 8-play drive, ending with a 17-yard touchdown pass to Troy Fumagalli.
I think this is going to be a quick review. Again, hand is not down, knee is not down. That ball is across the goal line. Give Paul Chryst a lot of credit too, because you come down 3rd time and in the red zone and call a different play.
After
to get in
further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown, Wisconsin.
Reese, what a day you're having too. You're 2 for 2 if you're scoring at home, people. You're on fire.
Just give it time.
It's a long game.
A conference with the replay official before the game. Now we got on the same page,
yep.
So we're all set to go.
Got it. Bart Houston, how about that? Now, what do you do next series?
Yeah,
what do you do next series
well,
now?
That's the problem, Comes in and then has a good series, and everybody say, "Watch, keep him in there."
Boots it through. Maybe Alex Hornibrook isn't so confident all of a sudden. As Bart Houston came in, just threw a 17-yard touchdown pass. 7-0 Badgers.
The Iowa Farm Bureau and the University of Iowa welcome you to ANF Game Day, a celebration of the perseverance, integrity, and determination of America's farmers. This annual celebration
ESPN College Football, Brought to you by Holiday Inn Express. Get game ready with late breakfast and noon checkout. Snooze-a-palooza. Now through December 18th.
That's Toolbox. Last night, the Iowa and Wisconsin football managers competed in an 8-man flag football game for the Rusty Toolbox. Tradition began in 1991. The managers play whenever these two teams meet. Bob Dunn scored 2 touchdowns, helping Wisconsin win their 6th straight in the Toolbox. Kirk Ferentz actually said they've got boosters and alum calling him to recruit better managers so they can try to win that game in the rivalry.
He said the managers on both sides, they weren't so attentive this week because they wanted to save their legs. They weren't hustling around practice.
There was a whole lot more attention on this Toolbox game than you can imagine. It's a big deal, all in good spirit and college fun. And Wisconsin has won 6 in a row. Bouncing ball picked up at the 10-yard line. And get a bit of a return to the 24.
You know, Steve, that last touchdown came down to details. Watch the eyes of Bart Houston. He's going to look this way, and what that does to all the linebackers and safeties is move them to one side of the field. And here's Fumagalli. He's going to be one-on-one with the safety, which opens up a great lane to throw the football for the touchdown. The details of playing quarterback, that's what Paul Chryst emphasizes, and that time Bart Houston did a great job with his eyes moving the defense.
So let's get ahead of this, Grease. Who's Chryst throwing out at quarterback next series when they have the ball?
It's tough to say. I would think you would go back to Hornibrook. I think you say, Bart Houston, you got 1 series, take all the decision out of it, tell them before the game you're going to have 1 series, then Hornibrook's back in.
Handoff to Wadley. Oh, he's got the speed, he's got the moves. 2nd and short coming up at first, Adnan. All right, Adnan, thank you. Texas will host Baylor next week. Baylor ranked 9th in the nation, undefeated. They're off this weekend. Handoff, it's Wadley again. Crashes forward, has enough for the first down, and Vince Beagle on the stop. We talked about Beagle early. Yep. I might have mentioned his name one other time.
Well, they've been rotating, Steve. They've been rotating Beagle, T.J. Watt, and then Garrett Dooley at that outside linebacker spot. I think it's smart. You know, Beagle's back in a hurry from having a screw put in his foot. You don't want him to play 65 snaps in the game. You only want him to play 25 or 30, so rotate him around, keep him fresh.
That surgery was some 3 weeks ago. Said to be a quick healer. Who's young and not a quick healer, right? Here's Beathard throwing down the field, has a man, and Shield, and he can't hang on. Jay Shield had a step on Luber and Figaro.
Well, Shield and Figaro have been going at it. This is a great throw from Beathard. Boy, close. It's interesting, you know, they're targeting Shield a little bit more than Jermanique Smith. Smith is the speed guy on the outside, a true sophomore. Got a 45-yard run last week and has been their big play receiver, but Shield's getting an opportunity to try to make plays.
Here's Beathard. Screen out of the backfield, and Wadley can't hang on. Brings up a 3rd and 10.
That was well defensed by this Wisconsin defense. They saw and read screen immediately, and they weren't out there to make the tackle, but they got in the way of the throw and made C.J. Beathard put a little bit too much air on it.
It's hard not to get frustrated, though, Grease.
Yep.
As a quarterback, when you make that throw down the sideline, and even that screen, that's a ball you can catch. It's just interesting watching his body language. He's done a great job of not letting his teammates know how frustrated he is, but you know he is.
Yep.
Beathard in all sorts of trouble, trying to run out of it. Got a lot of the yardage back, but not enough to get the first. Jack Sitchie brought him down.
You know, frustration, Todd, you can't let it get in your head and take you out of your reads. That time I felt like he had McCarron coming on a shallow cross, hoping for a potential first down. You'll see number 83 coming across the screen, and his eyes go down, starts to look at the rush, and it's tough.
Ron Caluzzi gets it away. Clement will let it bounce. Takes a high bounce, then a big Iowa bounce, and an Iowa roll all the way down to the 1. 57-yard punt. Who's going to lead Wisconsin's offense back on the field? 7-0 Badgers.
We are in the bowels of We are in the bowels of Kinnick Stadium, and this week's AT&T Inside Access, we're going to take a look at what makes this visiting locker room of the Iowa Hawkeyes so unique. Come on inside. So welcome inside the mind of legendary coach Hayden Fry, a psychology major at the University of Baylor, and he studied the psychology of color. This is Innocence Pink, and he meant for it to have a calming effect on the opponents of the Hawkeyes before they take the field. But undoubtedly my most colorful memory of this locker room is this pink bathroom. Dirty rose is the color of these urinals, but Levy, look at these stalls. They didn't used to have doors on them. Oh,
Can I get some privacy, please? Come on, man.
Because you had your pants on.
I mean, Grease, we're close. I know we're close and everything.
Disaster averted.
That's a little too close.
I'm feeling real calm today in the booth. You know, I've just spent all that time in the pink locker room.
Alex Hornibrook is, in fact, back. When I say back, he's back just about at his goal line. He's standing in his own end zone on 1st down and 10. And Hornibrook trying to give some breathing room. He'll dive left for a yard or two. So that was my first experience. I'd heard for years about it. I was shocked how pink it was. You're sporting the pink as well.
I wore pink today, yeah.
I got a little pink in the blue tie. Could remind me next week,
when you come to Kinnick, you got to wear pink, right?
So do you think it works? Do we think over the years it's had any impact at all?
You know what Hayden Fry used to say? When a coach would come to complain to him on the field before the game, he knew he had him. Right? Bo Schembechler was famous. He used to bring big sheets of white paper and put it up on the walls because he hated the pink locker room. But no, it didn't have much effect on him.
No, you of course never lost the game in the stadium, I'm sure. There's so much locker room hijinks over the years in the NBA. You hear about it all the time, and you see there's an injured Hawkeye down. That's Nathan Bozada, the junior from Howells, Nebraska.
He's a big part of their defense.
Well, he's attended to. We'll step out. Hawkeyes trailing by a touchdown.
See Nathan Buzzetta being helped off the field, the junior defensive lineman. He is right here, number 99. It's like he got that right leg caught underneath him. Scary looking play there for Buzzetta.
His backup is Faithy Kakati, the senior from Brampton, Ontario, as Don Cherry would say. Good Canadian boy, I tell you. Adnan will agree as well. On 2nd down and 9. Give to Clement. Able to leap over a couple of people like Jaleel Johnson. And able to get out to the 5.
Well, with Buzzetta out, more of the pressure on Jaleel Johnson. He's their senior leader. Todd, what do you see from down there right near
That was
Johnson?
a great play by Jaleel. He flew off the ball with good leverage and kind of saved the play. I think Clement had a chance to pick up 7, 8, 9 yards in that run if Jaleel didn't get his arm in the last second. But you're right, he's a key player now in the middle playing nose tackle.
It's a great look down there for you, Todd.
3rd and 6. A.J. Taylor on that jet sweep. Desmond King made the stop. Not going to get there. 4th down.
Obviously, you don't want to put Iowa in a position to make a big play on the defensive side. A little surprised they didn't throw there, but just the inability to get a push up front for offensively. That's why it's so good sometimes to be in the end zone. You guys have that all 22 from the sideline. Being in the end zone, I can get that tight copy look, if you will.
Here's P.J. Rosinski. Punting away. Great field position upcoming. There is a flag down back of the 12-yard line. Rosowski got it away.
Well, it was such a bad punt that if that's against Wisconsin, I'm sure that Kirk Ferentz will decline it.
Let's see.
During the kick, holding, return team, number 27. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. Iowa ball, 1st down and 10.
First accepted penalty of the game. Here's another good old Canadian boy, I tell you, Adnan Virk. Adnan, thank you.
Boy, Northwestern, they're a team that's
You're on them.
sneaking up. I mean, they scored 50-plus points against Michigan State last week. They have already beaten the Iowa Hawkeyes, and next week's big game against Ohio State.
Iowa's best starting field position today at the 44 of Wisconsin. Handed off to LaShawn Daniels. Gets out to the 40. T.J. Edwards makes the stop.
You know what I'm saying before, it's so good to be in the end zone. I think the trenches also reading quarterbacks' eyes on drops, but there, Greasy, we talked a lot about how this Iowa offense, when it's working in the run game, do a great job with that zone blocking, pushing off into the double teams and getting off to the 2nd level. So far today, they're struggling, I think, up front to be as effective as we've seen the last couple of games.
Yeah, it's tough against this defensive front.
Beathard throwing. What a grab by Riley McCarron. One-handed catch and then tiptoes down the sideline.
Just a playmaker. You know, he's only 5'9", 186 pounds, and he's having to take over from Matt Vandenberg. Big shoes to fill. They'll throw this 3 or 4 times. It's an extended run. It's a run-pass option, or Iowa's version of it. McCarron just sticks that mid out there and snags it.
Gain of 11 on the play.
By the way, I think that's the most that Todd McShay's been in the end zone. He didn't spend much time there in Richmond.
Deepest penetration so far for Iowa. Here's Daniels trying to break free.
John Daniels, the ball carrier.
And gets pushed back, and now they blow the whistle. Crowd wanting a penalty call.
Okay, go ahead, Todd. I know you got something to say.
I was just going to say it was a nice kick-out block by the left guard. They do a good job on pulls and also on movement stuff with the zone blocking, always moving east to west, but then trying, as I said, to peel off those double teams and get a blocker out to the 2nd level. And there, Daniels really benefited from some good blocking up front.
Looked like Todd was sneaking up on the official there for a second, too, I thought.
I'm always trying to hide away from these guys.
Brady Ross and Akram Wadley. And it's 2nd man through Wadley. He'll spin around again. He's certainly good at that. Looks like he's really short. I mean, just short. of the first down.
It's interesting that they use Wadley in these short yardage situations in between the tackles. You would expect for it to be LaShawn Daniels. Daniels goes 225 pounds, and Wadley is 190, soaking wet. I think they're going to measure this.
The other thing that's good being down here on the field is just listening to the hitting. We had a great game last week with Clemson, NC State, and that NC State defense. You could just hear the hitting from the first snap. And today, with both of these teams, obviously two of the most physical teams in college football, you can just hear it. It's just a little bit louder, the cracking of the helmets and the shoulder pads.
Well, you got the best linebacking core in college football for Wisconsin. And then you got the fullbacks, you know, Kulik and Ross and those guys coming up on the second level. You're going to hear some hitting.
We like just parachute you into the stadium with that look, right onto the football.
Kurt Ferentz has cut his teeth as an offensive line coach, one of the most experienced and best coaches in all of football. Takes a lot of pride in this offensive line for the Hawkeyes.
Brady Ross is the fullback in front of LaShawn Daniels on 3rd down and 1.
Oh, offside. George Kittle, the tight end, Steve.
False start. Offense. Number 46. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
In these short yardage situations, as a quarterback, I never like to use a quick count, right? I always wanted to use a standard count on one for this reason, because you get up there and go on a quick count, and the tight ends, first time they hear anything, they jump.
As was the case there, Kittle, who left last week with a foot injury, left the stadium in a walking boot. He said they have to be really smart with how they play in this week in terms of the numbers of snaps. So you see he'll step out on 3rd down and 6 now after the penalty.
That's where you got to find McCarron. Riley McCarron in the slot. It's all-out blitz.
And again, crowd couldn't hear the whistle.
To delay a game.
They get the timeout. 0's on the play clock.
Prior to the ball snap. Timeout. Iowa. Their first of the half.
It's a good timeout.
Wow, it was a big missed opportunity for C.J. Beathard. He had exactly what he wanted. Had Riley McCarron matched up against an all-out blitz. And you just got to keep your eye on the play clock. His coach is saving from the sideline. There's nobody back here, right? And here's McCarron. He's going to come. He's wide open. And C.J. Beathard does a nice job of recognizing it's going to be a touchdown, Steve. But you got to. We went back to the details, right? When Wisconsin scores a touchdown as a quarterback, you got to have all of it, and just too much time.
Right, it was going to be a touchdown unless it would have been a delay of game penalty.
Right.
Unless you got it in that figures, you have to take the timeout.
So now let's play it forward. You know, if you're Justin Wilcox, defensive coordinator for Wisconsin, you're not coming with the same blitz, right? It's the last thing you're going to do. You probably play coverage here. And you know, I thought coming into this game that C.J. Beathard was going to need some Justin Wilcox there. Thought he was going to need to make 3 or 4 plays with his feet, conversions in situations like this for them to pull this upset. See if he uses it here.
3 receivers, bottom of your screen this time. 10 on the play clock for Beathard to snap it out of the gun. Good protection. Now it breaks down on the run, and he'll throw it away.
I'm not so sure he couldn't have used his feet right there, Steve. You know, he's outside the pocket. Obviously, Watt's a good player, but you start running there, and there's nowhere to throw the football. At least try to get the first down with your feet. See if he could.
It was strange. His eyes dropped, and then picked them back up.
Boy, I guess he just didn't trust the speed to get to the outside, Todd.
Here's Keith Duncan, the field goal kicker from 41, and it is good. And the Hawkeyes are on the board. 3:49 left in the half, 7-3 Badgers. for the Aflac trivia question. Kirk Ferentz has been named the Big Ten Coach of the Year 4 times, tied for the most all time. Who is Ferentz tied with?
Oh, wow.
Want a hint?
Wow, first two that come, you know, Bo and Woody, right? You throw those in there, but you go way back. I mean, what era are we talking? Give me an era.
No,
not era Parsegian either.
No. Well, that's not a terrible guess.
Oh, is that not a bad guess? Northwestern, that's right. I'll go with era.
That's a good guy to go with. Aflac. And instead, the answer is.
Oh, see, I said him first.
How do you say that last name? Schembechler.
There you go.
We're partials to Bo on this crew anyway.
I wonder if Parsegian, how many he won?
It's a good question. 7-3, Wisconsin. Under 4 to play here in the first half. Again, it was a 10-6 matchup a year ago. No one would be surprised if this holds up as the final score. Austin Ramish doing his thing, the fullback out of the backfield.
I really like Austin Ramish. He's a very versatile tool for this Wisconsin offense. You see him, obviously, as a lead blocker quite a bit for Corey Clement and Agumbawale. You see him score touchdowns down inside the 5-yard line on that little dive, but he's also a great receiver. That time, they get him a screen, big first down.
A late handoff to Clement, maybe a yard. Josie Jewell on the stop. Jewell with 61 tackles, leads the team, 6th in the conference.
He's a great player. Talked to him yesterday. He's an intense guy. You know, with that name, you know, I want to call him the Outlaw. You know, Outlaw
Right.
Josie Jewell.
Yep.
I don't know if he likes that, but outstanding core linebacker. They're tired of hearing about Wisconsin's linebackers, Bauer, Jewell, and Neiman.
Mornybrook throwing across the middle, able to complete. Has Kyle Peniston with plenty of running room. Kyle Peniston, the freshman from California, on the long gain.
We talked with Phil Parker, the defensive coordinator for Iowa last night. He said this weak side dig is one of the favorite things that Wisconsin likes to do. He knew it was coming, just unable to play. And that was Desmond King. You know, they're Thorpe Award winner out there, but sometimes when a corner gets matched up on a big tight end like Peniston at 6'4", 240, they just don't play it right, or they get lulled to sleep.
And King is one of the best tacklers after the catch in the country. Only 2.2 yards per catch allowed after the reception coming into this game.
Handoff, here's Clement, trying to back his way down by the goal line. Peniston maybe caught Iowa by surprise a little bit, just his 4th catch of the season. And that went for 54 yards to get him down by the goal line.
Where we were talking about Ramish. They love the quick hitter to the fullback inside the 3.
And that's who it goes to, Ramish. Good call, Grease. Maybe gains a yard and some extracurriculars. Jewell at the bottom of the pile.
We were talking to Josie Jewell last night. He mentioned that quick hitter by Ramish, so he was not fooled. He anticipated it and stuffed that hole.
Wisconsin taking their sweet time. They have 3 timeouts. See a minute 15 left in the half. Third and goal. Clement trying to leap over. Football comes out. It's recovered by Iowa. Desmond King. We'll see if he crossed the goal line. Well, this crowd at Kinnick Stadium doesn't think he did.
We're going to have a great look at this from our sky cam right over top. Probably going to be our best look. Here he is. He's going to get caught up, and then he's going to extend that ball out right there, and it's coming out before he crosses the goal line. It's a great look from our sky cam.
Jewell got the pop that knocked it free. And then King would recover in the end zone. And the call on the field is fumble.
Yep. Yeah, there's
got to be obviously conclusive video evidence to overturn that, and that's the danger of extending that ball.
The ruling on the field of a fumble recovered in the end zone for a touchback is under further review.
If you extend that ball as a running back, you better make sure it crosses the plane, because the odds are that it's going to come out, because everybody's punching at that football.
I'm surprised that doesn't happen more, that the ball doesn't get knocked free. You see all the players, especially in the NFL, they do it all the time.
Right.
You guys,
extend just the football.
If this holds up, how about the red zone woes that Wisconsin's had now, really the last 2 weeks?
Well, and last year, Todd, remember, in this game, Iowa won the game because Joel Stave fumbled on the 1 yard line going in, and they only lost by 4 points. Paul Chryst remembers last year and said, something we got to deal with.
Levy's still salty about having to do that game.
Stave had his foot stepped on while he was trying to hand off to Taiwan Deal. 4 turnovers in that game for Wisconsin.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called. Touchback, Iowa's football, first down and 10.
And that's the first turnover of this football game. And it comes in a big spot for the home team.
Well, and with less than a minute, this half has flown by because both of these teams been running the football so well, but wouldn't be surprised if Iowa's pretty conservative here before halftime.
Beathard will hand it off to Akram Wadley. Finds a seam and has the first down. Here's Adnan. All right, looking forward to that. Noah Fant on the receiving end of that C.J. Beathard pass. We were expecting to see a little more of Noah Fant catching the football. 2
big chunks right there, Steve. Obviously, now this changes the philosophy. Iowa's got 2 timeouts. They're close to the 50-yard line. Only need about 25, 30 more yards to get in position for a field goal attempt.
Keith Duncan, their kicker, his long, and he also is an inexperienced true freshman. His long on the season is just 28 yards, so we'll watch for that. Here's Beathard throwing downfield, little back shoulder for Germanique Smith. Figaro
got what they wanted, one-on-one coverage with Germanique Smith, their fastest player, and I thought Smith needed to fight back more for this ball. I mean, this ball's not going to be perfect. You fight back for that ball, you might catch it, but more than anything, you're going to get a pass interference penalty. It's just that's too cavalier right there from Smith. Missed opportunity.
That's the first target of Smith as well?
Yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of him. We expected to see more. Here's second down and 10. Silo's 2 timeouts in Ferentz's back pocket. Out of the backfield is Wadley. He's out of bounds. Cross midfield. Sitchy got him.
This is the area of the game where they really missed George Kittle, and Kirk Ferentz knows he was their most dependable receiver, the tight end. He's just not healthy enough to run routes. So Fant, as you mentioned, who's a true freshman, talented kid, 6'5", 220 pounds, needs to take over in that pass-catching role for the Hawkeyes.
With Kittle watching from the sideline on 3rd down and 4. McCarron in motion. Now he sets. Beathard looking his way and finds him first down yardage.
You might want to use the timeout if you're Kirk Ferentz here. And he does, under 20 seconds. It's a great throw there from Beathard. That was a tight window. McCarron, again, running that little out and back in. Has to be a perfectly thrown ball. It's a big drive here. You get some points before half. You get the big stop.
Hey, tonight on ABC Saturday Night Football, J.T. Barrett, number 2 Ohio State. Another tough Big Ten road test into Happy Valley. Everybody's going to be in white tonight. We'll take on Penn State, Buckeyes, Nittany Lions. Saturday Night Football presented by Walmart, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. And watch ESPN.
We were talking with Kirk Ferentz last night where they need to get to for their freshman kicker. He said maybe the 27-yard line is their target.
for Keith Duncan.
Still one timeout left. Here's Beckford. Some pressure, gets out of it. Now on the run, now wants to get out of bounds, and he does. And he was tackled well out of bounds, I thought. I don't believe a flag has been thrown.
Well, he's underneath the bench over there. These sidelines are so close, Steve. I remember playing here. There is no room on these sidelines. In Sitchi, you're running full speed, and those guys go out of bounds, and it's not always safe. I mean,
well, it's great for the fans. It enhances the fans' experience.
Take a
but
look.
You're right, tough on the players.
I mean, they're running full speed, and he goes down. You're not stopping. He hits that bench hard. His back exposed. Good thing he's all right.
And no flag on the play. Ball spotted at the 40 of Wisconsin.
Got to recollect yourself here. You can still throw the ball in the middle of the field. You got 11 seconds, but you better not be running around in the pocket, because if you do that, you might burn 11 seconds.
Beckford, the Wadley. I'm not sure the first down matters so much with 5 seconds left.
That was a great
gain
play.
of 11.
Great play, because they need to get to the 27. That's what Kirk Ferentz told us. Take what they give you and get what you can down to the 29-yard line, where you give your field goal kicker a chance.
They're going to bring him out there.
And great poise by Beathard. You know, it's you come out and you hit the bench, and it's all flustered, and come back and make the right play.
This is Miguel Racinos, the kicker. He's their long distance guy. And Wisconsin.
Timeout. Wisconsin
has all three of their timeouts.
30 seconds in length.
Now down to 2.
Well, Ferentz told us that Keith Duncan would be around the 27. I guess we're at the 29, so they're going to bring in Racinos, who's got a little bit more range, but not quite the accuracy.
Racinos has only tried 1 field goal on the season and missed from 50.
We knew this was going to be a tight game. You know, these two teams in history have been so tight. Probably going to be less than a touchdown at the end, and how big this field goal is going to matter.
This Iowa drive, 51 yards in 49 seconds. We'll see if it results in points. 47-yard field goal attempt from Miguel Racinos.
Out. Wisconsin. Second of the half.
It's like the NBA. Wisconsin going back-to-back timeouts.
They need to get rid of that rule, right? You can't do back-to-back. Just one.
You're good with one.
Yeah, one's enough.
NFL Insiders will come your way tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. All your inside action. Get you caught up to date. Then at 11 a.m., Chris Berman, Wendy Nix, and the gang, Sunday NFL Countdown. And this week on ESPN's Monday Night Football, Brock Osweiler returns. The crowd will go wild. Maybe not wild.
Not.
Yeah. See what Von Miller has to say about that. Be the Broncos and the Texans on Monday night. They're not going to use one more timeout, Grease, are they? They're going to let him kick this one. Make him think about it.
Ooh, in your eye.
Racinos, good from 47. And at the half, it's a 1-point game. Go to Adnan Virk, Joey Galloway, Danny Cannell. Get ready for the Lexus halftime report.
Coach, the red zone issues continue to be a problem for you guys. How do you get it fixed?
Well, you got to go back to the basics. I mean, you've got to get movement on your blocks. You've got to hold on to the ball. You know, you got to execute. And it's a good team, you know, but we got to focus on the things you can control. And obviously, those are big plays. And so we've got to do a much better job.
We know that you were planning on putting Bart Houston in at quarterback. He comes in and drives you down the field for a touchdown. Do we expect to see him more in the second half?
You know, went into it telling both they're going to play, and certainly how the game shapes out, we don't know, but there's a good chance, certainly.
Okay, thanks a lot, Coach.
For the Wisconsin touchdown.
It's halftime here at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City, Iowa, where the 10th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers are taking on the Hawkeyes. We'll be back with more action right after these messages.
a little piece of this freedom. They all want just a little piece of this freedom.
Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City. You're watching the Big Ten on ESPN. Take a look at our first half stats, brought to you by Dell. As you would expect, not a whole lot to chew on.
Hard-fought game.
Wisconsin moving the ball pretty good up and down the field, just stalling out, unable to score. Big turnover at the goal line. But if you expected a 35-35 kind of first half, you're in the wrong place. This is Iowa, Wisconsin.
Come on, you're gonna like defensive football.
This is 7-6. This is exactly what we expected.
Well, the difference in the first half is that fumble on the goal line by Corey Clement.
Yeah.
That's an 11-point swing or 10-point swing there. They should really be up 11 points in the first half, but as it is, a 1-point game.
Wisconsin will get the football to start the second half, and who's coming out as the starting quarterback in the second half for Wisconsin?
If it's me, if I were Paul Chryst, I'm sticking with Alex Hornibrook. He's the one. I think if it were me, I think what he's trying to do is motivate his young redshirt freshman by having Bart Houston take a series, and we'll see how Hornibrook responds.
It's quite a series, by the way. Guys in the studio were talking about it at halftime. Bart Houston came out, led a drive immediately down the field and a 17-yard touchdown. And there you see the numbers to this point. Houston perfect, and Hornibrook, let's say, not so perfect. Todd McShay.
Yeah, I think the play is to go back to your starting quarterback. Hornibrook is your starter. Houston had a great drive, obviously builds his confidence, and now you can go to him. And I think we're going to see both quarterbacks in the second half, but I still think this is Hornibrook's offense for Wisconsin, and I really believe that he's going to be on the field a lot more than we'll see Houston in the second half.
Out at the 25, that's where Wisconsin and Alex Hornibrook will start, leading 7-6. We open up quarter number 3. Here's Corey Clement, the ball carrier. Stopped there by Faith Ikakati. Ikakati replacing Nathan Bazada, who was injured in that first half.
I think what's evident is that this Iowa defense is going to stack the box. I mean, they understand that Wisconsin a week ago against Ohio State got that running game going. They're going to make Alex Hornibrook make the plays in the passing game to win in the second half.
Hornibrook out of the gun. You get a good look at it. To the left of him is Clement. Hornibrook to pass. And passing and completing to Clement. For the short game, Desmond King on the stop.
Up a big third down here early in the second half. This crowd is getting into the game. Come out of the halftime. If you're Wisconsin, you have the football. You got to put a drive together. You don't want to go 3 and out. Give momentum to the Hawkeyes.
70,585 in attendance at Kinnick Stadium tonight. 90th meeting all time. Here's 3rd and 7. Hornibrook throwing and completing. Dare Gunbowale, as usual, has the first down.
Well, Iowa has had no answer for this route. They talked about in the first half, just a little Texas route, which to me means go out and then come back in. They clear out with Peavy.